Hi, Shalom from Israel. I just wanted to update you about something very, very significant that is happening in the last few hours, and it is connected with something that began actually when Brexit took place a few months ago. Ever since Britain left Europe, just so you know, the Europeans felt very insecure with what they considered a disintegrating and falling apart union. And France and Germany started pushing for a creation of a European military power. Now you have to understand, the Europeans, following World War I and World War II, they stay away from that type of collaboration. Most of what the European Union was all about was a economical and social union, but it wasn't a European army. There is this little unit that is supposedly it's a European unit, but was never really something that the Europeans pushed for, because they were always leaning on NATO, which is the North Atlantic alliance that we have, which includes America and Canada and others. But ever since Brexit, the French and the Germans are pushing ahead with that. But over the last couple hours, actually, in the EU right now, they are pushing for it in a much greater way. And that is the result of what I call the Trump effect. Ever since Donald Trump was running for president, he announced that he will cut all the budgets of NATO. And if there are countries in Europe that wants to be defended by America, they need to pay for it. And NATO feels very threatened. NATO feels very fragile right now. And the Europeans understand that Brexit was their first disaster, and now Trump in the White House is their even more bigger disaster. And the Europeans are now preparing themselves for a creation of a military force, a military power. Now, bear in mind, since the fall of the Roman Empire, Europe was never having its own united military power. It is a very significant thing. Again, the European Union is mostly based on financial and on economic union. It's all about work and it's all about trade. It wasn't really much about military power, because, again, the defense alliances were all behind or under the umbrella of NATO. And what we see now is a very, very significant move. And why do I mention that? Why do I call it even a prophecy update? Because as you know, I believe that Europe, Western Europe, will become eventually the power, the superpower, the political entity that will give birth to the Antichrist. And I believe it's very significant, extremely significant, that in light of the Syrian war that dragged the Russia and Iran and Turkey into it, and in light of the new American president that is going to make some major changes in America, Europe is feeling that this is the right time to do it. And this is interesting, very interesting. We see that many people around are bracing for the January 20th, and even the Palestinians themselves, they just released a threat that they will create. How did they say that? They were actually threatening America, that they will give America hell if America will move the embassy to Jerusalem, as Trump, by the way, promised during the election campaign. Now, all I'm trying to say is that every part of the world, whether it's the Palestinians here, whether it's the Russians in Syria, whether it's the Europeans, they're all having their own Trump effect, I would say. And this is very significant. I think that all of us who believe in Bible prophecy and all of us who can see what's going on in light of Bible prophecy should be, on one hand, worried, on the other hand, excited. Worried to see how fast things are going, excited to know that our redemption is obviously drawing near. So again, my update now is basically and mostly on the European brand new and very strong effort right now to bring about a new military power, military entity of Western Europe. This is very significant. And as I said, since the fall of the Roman Empire, Western Europe was not united militarily as it is going to do or going to be in the near future. A few more updates, just so you know. The Russians resumed their heavy bombardment in Aleppo. And we know that there is a horrible carnage there. I mean, they started actually bombing hospitals. And we know that yesterday, 85 people died in one hospital as they literally destroyed that hospital. And there's more wars going on. We know that it is mostly Shiite-Sunni battle in that city of Aleppo, which becomes a graveyard for so many people and for so many tragedies. But at the same time, we can see that the war in Europe, in Syria is not over, not at all. The Mosul, also the Mosul campaign is having a lot of difficulties right now. And as I said before in my previous update, now when the smoke screen is over, when the elections took place, now they admit there are some problems. In the beginning, they said we're moving forward, it's only a matter of a few days. Well, it's been 10 days since the elections, and they're not even close to take over that city. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Hezbollah, by the way, Hezbollah, the proxy of Iran that is from Lebanon, is now mostly fighting for Bashar al-Assad in Syria. The Hezbollah troops, thousands of them, cross the border from Lebanon into Syria, and they are the ones that are fighting in Aleppo on behalf of the Syrians. And I just want you to know that 2 days ago, the Hezbollah decided in the city of Qusayr in Syria to have a military, what we call parade. It's interesting because they showed a lot of military power there. Power that means nothing to us because you're talking about tanks and artillery and rockets that we can destroy from the air instantly. It's the guerrilla warfare that we have problem with, but tanks, we know how to deal with those. But what was really scary to see is that there was a lot of American weapon right there on display. And apparently the Hezbollah, which is recognized by America as a terrorist organization, is having brand new American equipment that was generously probably given to them by some of the military powers that are supported by America, like the Iraqi army and the Lebanese army. And that explains, by the way, why the Saudis cut all their support of the Lebanese army, because the Saudis don't want to see how the Shiites killing Sunnis with weapons that they give. So a lot of stuff going on in the Middle East right now. A lot of stuff is going on in the world. The Trump effect is accelerating Bible prophecy in ways that are quite amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next. I'm excited. I think all of you should be excited. I just wanted you to understand the magnitude of a European military power that is on the move right now, that is being formed as we speak by the Germans and the French, based mostly on the fact that Britain is out of the picture. And Britain was I think Britain was the biggest opponent of such a thing. And now when Britain is out, this is their time to move forward with it. That's it for now. I just wanted to give you that update. I hope that you guys get our news updates and signed up for the newsletter that we send once a week. We also encourage you to continue following us on Facebook and Twitter and on Instagram, and as well as subscribe on our YouTube channel, Behold Israel. Thank you. I love you all. God bless you. And shalom from Galilee.